Hey YouTube, Silver Bear here. Welcome back to part 2 of sterling silver. I'm going to go into the tools a little bit with you. One of the first things you want to do is you want to get your resources. Great places online, everybody already knows that though. I got this book here. It's a thin book, easy to travel with, easy to understand and read. Goes into like silver and whatnot and what to look for. Here's the name and stuff. Okay, now here's the tools. This is in my toolkit too, just so you know. Now you guys know I travel a lot, so I find a lot of silver out there when I'm traveling. And I carry this bag with me. It has all the stuff that I need to look at silver, just in case the opportunity arises, right? So first I have my scale. This scale here, it's cheap. You know, nothing big, but it weighs and it works. Has the lid for it is a tray, so if you have to weigh loose stuff, you can do that. If you're gonna have a scale, you probably want some. Where'd it go? You want to get you a couple weights to calibrate it. Little weights. Over time, the scales don't, they need to be calibrated to get an accurate reading. Let's see, so you got scale. Another important thing is the loop. Okay, this is to look at hallmarks and how fine the design is on the silver. You don't really need a caliper or anything. But one thing that I travel with is this thing here. This is kind of like my version of the coin slide. Okay, it's just a solid tube that was used for mailing, another tube inside that. Okay, and then this stuck to the okay, inside here I have a 500 gram weight for counterbalance here. Okay, so what I did was I put a hole here that just rests right in there. Okay, and then this is a magnet. Oops, came out of my toolbox. It's, you know, from working on cars, you drop a bolt, you can get it, and that's an earth magnet on the end. Cheapest way to get these magnets that I've seen so far, anyway. Alright, so I hang that on there like that, and I just let that swing. This is the pendulum. Instead of a slide, it's a pendulum. And it's compact, and I can fit it in that case there, and it will help me decide what, or help me figure out if something is silver or not. Okay. Now over here, we have, let me set this up, couple pieces here, and we're going to go over this acid here. There's not a lot of videos where they show this acid, I've noticed. Okay, so let me get some gloves on real quick. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put, this is a 90% silver coin. It's already scuffed up. You don't have to scuff it, that's something I do when I want to get through the plating. If you put this directly on plate, a lot of times it won't, it'll just read the plating. So you want to remember that. I usually use a little pocket knife, put a little scratch in it, that way the acid can get down in there. See, this here is staying orange, so you know you have silver there, right? Dip that in the water. Okay, this one here is a 19. What is that? It doesn't matter. It's modern. Now watch what happens when you put it on something that's not silver. See how it's starting to fade? It's not as deep. It's a lot more liquidy too. Alright, here you go. Can you see the color is blue? See it turn blue. that you know is not silver. Okay, I got some stuff from China once, some sterling silver supposedly, and I had to cut through. I tested it and I tested positive for silver, but I was like, nah, something is not right. It's not weighing right. So I put a little scratch in it and then put the acid on it, and it turned blue right away. I had to get my money back for that. Okay, now that was 90% silver we did. This is, we'll do some sterling here. This is a scrap piece. You'll see both of those dots are just going to stay orange. You want to be careful doing this. It will leave a mark on the silver. Okay, so you always want to pick an inconspicuous spot to test if that's the route you want to test. I'm not going to do it to this, but I would go in the crease right here, or like right here, where if you had to buff it out, it wouldn't. No one would really notice. Something like this, I would. Oops. There we go. I would test inside here, you know, maybe down in there where people aren't going to notice it, or you know, it's already bad looking in there, so I would just test it right there. You want to test stuff in places that you can hide it. And if you're trying to resell it, you don't want to put the acid on it unless you can really buff it out. An alternative to testing with acid is the magnet. Okay, take that glove off. Okay, the way I do this is I extend this all the way till it touches the thing. Touches the item, and then I grab it here, and because of the rubber band, I just push down, and then the rubber band oops, a little too much. The rubber band will pick it back up just enough. Alright, once you get it to where it'll swing, you can swing it, and if it stops like that, you're good. But I like to move this around and really, because copper will make it stop too, but copper doesn't make the magnet move quite like this. Okay. So mess around with that, get a feel for what copper looks like under the magnet and what sterling looks like under the magnet, and you'll be able to pick it out right away. So these are the tricks that I use to get the sterling that I have. It's a lot of fun, it's a lot of detail. You have to study up on your sterling hallmarks and things like that. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. This is just some tricks to help you not get burned on making purchases. A lot of people I know, they think something's sterling, and there's no way they don't know how to tell, and they buy it anyway. It's like, yeah, I bought this box for $15, but in reality they have, like, you know, $3 of scrap metal that they paid $15 for. And it sucks. It happens though, and be careful not to do that. Make sure you know what you're looking for before you make purchases. So, all right, thanks for watching. I hope you learned something, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.